Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie, the CEO of Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and also be sure to hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate you. We have an action-packed show for you guys. We're going to be taking you guys all around training camp, all around the NFL. We have a lot that we got to get into. We have a really big fucking cast that I got to introduce and line up. So we're just going to get right into commercials first. You already see the GLD. I'm rocking my commander's chain, named to be changed soon. Rocking my commander's chain. Hey, yo, Mike, take them to the yacht. ShopGLD.com.
Hop out in Miami when no land, ain't got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, no turn me up, you can't understand. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, where you're not.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure you guys head over to shopgld.com. Again, that is shopgld.com. NFL season's vastly quickly approaching, very quickly approaching. We got NFL coming next week with the Hall of Fame game. So go ahead, ice yourself out, represent your favorite sports team with official NFL license chains with shopgld.com. I also want to shout out our homies over at All 22. All 22, that's right. The latest, greatest fantasy football format with our homies over at Pro Football Focus. Make sure you guys give them a holla at all22.com. Link is in the description down below. Use promo code Rumboyz to take 40% off the subscription price. You're going to get a whole PFF fantasy football draft kit, exclusive coaches film analysis, and much more. Get on over to All 22, promo code Rumboyz. Let's go. And then finally, last but certainly not least, y'all saw how crazy things got at the beginning of last week's show where I popped a bottle of champagne and announced that we are with FTN. Join FTN, FTN.com. I have a link below down in the description. Join FTN, promo code FTN30. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right, FTN30. Take 30% off over on FTN. Another thing that I want to shout out really quick, all right, that I want to bring up with FTN and utilizing promo code 30. Right now, we have the FTN Football Almanac available, $29.99. Final price, it is going to go up to $34.99. This is the final day that it is at this sale price. All right, this is the final day. Big ups to Aaron Schatz. He put in a lot of work in that. One of the greatest football minds in the betting world. Be on the lookout. Go on over there, ftn.com. And also, we have our fantasy football draft guide over there, ladies and gentlemen. We do have our fantasy football draft guide, fantasy football rankings in there as well. Big ups to Jeff Ratcliffe. You guys gotta get on over there. You're getting analysis from the number one ranker in fantasy football in Jeff Ratcliffe. So big ups to those gentlemen and all the rest of the products that we got going on over at FTN. Big ups to our new deal with Bet365. More to come on that. Let's get into the cast and crew. First up, step it up to the mic. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop the mic up.
Hi,
Okay.
I'm here. My computer is being dumb. Let's get this party going.
What the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, we got to kick it old school really quick.
Okay, are we kicking it old school?
We are kicking it old school. I wish that we wouldn't get copyrighted for playing an Undertaker theme right now because this man has arose from the depths of Davy Jones' locker, ladies and gentlemen. One of the original Rumboyz. Give it up for Saint Pat FF.
I'm back by popular demand.
My party is back!
105 days later, I am here. The patron saint of fantasy football, St. Pat FF, has finally returned to the Rumboyz ship. And since I've been gone, we've seen the NFL draft. We've seen players sign. We've seen players cut. We've even had the Nuggets win an NBA championship, something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime, but it happened. I've been busy banging chicks and even Mama Hicks. And now we are in full training camp mode, and this is where I am needed most on this ship. Back on this ship to ensure that you get excellent, thought-out fantasy football takes and make sure you are ready for the NFL season. And if you've missed me, give me a hell yeah in the comments. Hell yeah!
Hell
yeah!
Hey, you know what else has happened since you've been gone?
What?
Since you've been gone.
Dominic Mysterio is an NXT champion, and how dare he?
Oh my gosh, we are not talking NXT on this show. Anyways, let's keep this motherfucker moving, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta give it up. The one, the only, the soulless David Gillespie.
Come on.
Do you need me to do it?
There I'm at. There we go. What's going on, fellas? A little bold of Pat to say that. Like, Mike may be one of the nicest people I've ever met, but I don't test this motherfucker. He will place a bounty on that head if he has to. There's no soul behind those Jack Nicholson eyebrows and that fucking Liver King beard, if I've ever seen it. Okay, let's be real about it. Okay?
Look, Mike is a love child. Mike is a love child between Jack Nicholson and Liberty. Ladies and gentlemen,
Something we can get away with on social media nowadays.
exactly.
I am untouchable.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the new members of the crew. This man has been a professional sports scout. He is one of the newest members of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. You guys saw him at the Scott Fishbowl live draft that we had in Denver. Give it up for Jeff, the Scout.
What up, boys?
What's up, Dilly Dilly?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Sun's out, guns out, you know?
Yep, yeah. Hey, sun's out, guns out, snapbacks and tattoos.
At his house right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the motherfucker's in the desert. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, and he is big repping the SFE 13-5s. Give it up for the SC Express.
That's right. Let's go, fives. And look, I'm not going to talk much. I am happy to be surrounded by originals, and the patron saint of fantasy football is here. I feel like I should be back.
Who cares if he's here? Screw that
instead of
fat
being
ass.
here, this is great. So it's like I'm happy to be rocking old school with you guys. So now new school meets old school. Let's go.
Hell yes, hell yes. And ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly not least, everyone's
bringing him on.
Everyone's favorite heel, but also
where is he?
This man has been on the beat lately, keeping an eye out on some things out in Jets camp for me. Give it up for TDS Taco. What the? There we go.
What up, boys? I just couldn't understand. Mike, were you saying that your computer was slow or you were slow? I couldn't pick up on that distinction. You cut it.
It'd be nice if we could actually see you. Not
like half your head's in fucking front.
I just got a brand new monitor, so it's kind of like
don't knock him on the camera.
Changed where my camera is. We'll get this adjusted mid-flight.
Touche, Jeff. Touche. He finally made it on time.
His Giants aren't losing. Otherwise,
Taco, go a little further.
Let's go ahead. Let's get it. Yep, push it down. Yeah, go down more. There you go.
That's what she said.
Let's go ahead and let's kick this show off. I got me a strong island over here in my Demon Slayer cup. So it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a crazy night. He got that Nick Merckx camera angle. Says Tariq, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
Anonymous.
He looks like he's looking 90 degrees to the left.
Right?
Anonymous. Love you, Anonymous. Too.
Yes, Anonymous, we love you. Albert, what's good? Fellas, cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboys and girls, what it do. Dilly, let's go. This is a big ass stream.
Dilly, motherfucking Dilly.
All right,
hey, David, I would like, before we go forward, I would like you to note that my wife did want to know who the cute girl was in your background last week.
Jimmy G.
She goes by the name of Jenny, We're just going to leave it at that.
I had to explain to her what that was. She asked me, whoa, who's the cute girl up there? And I'm like, don't worry about
that. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, who's that on the show? And then I saw it was David's backdrop. I was like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyways, Anonymous, I'm 145. Let's go ahead. We are going to get into some training camp news. I'm just going to run through the injury report really quick. We're just going to mention the three big ones. None of us are doctors here. No one is
Nice.
diagnosing anything. We do have segments that will be able to fit some of these things in, but we're just going to first let everyone know so that you guys can go out there and draft accordingly. Jalen Ramsey, carted off, could miss
That's a
some
real
significant
one. That's a
time.
real one.
I heard half the season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a real one.
potentially half the season. But then we're hearing, he could, maybe only miss like possibly week 1. It's that one's tough. Joe Burrow set to miss several weeks.
What I heard with Ramsey is it's a torn meniscus, and that usually results in 6 to 8 weeks. So he could, I think, worst case scenario, I'd expect him to be back by like week 3 or week 4, but we'll see how it plays out because it could exacerbate,
Exactly. Ramsey did tweet that, it is going to be tough before the end of the season, that before the end of the season push. No one knows their body better than the athlete themselves.
For sure.
But Joe Burrow, with the calf injury, he was carted off. I scared the shit out of all of Facebook with my reaction to that. That was interesting, and I apologize for the way I reported that. I got emotional. And then finally, the third major one was Garrett Wilson, but Garrett Wilson appears to be all fine. He is good and good to go.
Deontay Johnson too.
Oh, great!
Deontay Johnson's fine.
Yeah.
Deontay's fine. So just wanted to make sure that we ran through that really quick.
Yep.
Getting into training camp news, first thing that we're going to talk about, we're going to go into our cover athlete of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Herbert gets a big, massive 5-year extension, $262.5 million over the course of that 5 years. That's a big bag, making him the highest paid quarterback in the league right now, currently. What are you guys' thoughts on the Chargers' handling of this situation? Providing Herbert the money. This is a team that has never won a ring. Can Herbert be the guy to get them the ring? And also, with this big paycheck, is he going to be profitable for fantasy managers now moving forward? Mike.
All right, so I'm not going to go the fantasy route. I'll let some of the other boys, since we have a big enough crew to do that. I want to bring up 2 things. One, yes, he deserves it. For the people that are saying he doesn't, the problem is in the NFL when it comes to the most important position in the league, probably the most important position in professional sports, it's the next guy up. That's how it is. He's the next guy up for the contract. He's going to get it. Other guys have gotten the money, and they haven't. I mean, look at me. Guys got money like Daniel Jones has got money, and I'm not saying he got Herbert money, but he's still got Taco. He hasn't done anything compared to even Herbert. What I'm saying is Herbert and him have done the same. That's my point. But the biggest thing to me is that they needed to do this for Herbert. They're bringing in Kellen Moore. They need to prove they're going for the passing game. They brought in Kellen Moore. But Herbert is going to get his money. Herbert gets his money. He's getting $100 million in 2025 with everything that figures it out. But that's not the big story for me in this signing.
All right.
How the fuck did his audio cut out?
Yeah, your audio's out.
How did he mute himself? This man muted. The producer muted himself.
Preach, Mike.
I think even before he muted himself, his audio was cutting out. I could be wrong though.
Right
Talk your
on
shit.
the punchline.
My mic has been going out like every 3 minutes for the past 3 weeks, no matter what show I'm on. This means Austin Eckler is not a Charger in 2024.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the last year that Austin Eckler's there.
It's a great point.
To me, this puts that egg in the basket. That's my biggest point I wanted to bring up. Austin Eckler's gone. This is now we knew it was the Herbert show, but they proved it was the Herbert show, and we'll see what happens in the future. They brought in I'm not a biggest fan, but they brought in Quentin Johnson for a reason. They still got all the wideouts.
I've heard some things.
Listen, Linda, listen. I have Herbert, I have Eckler, and I have QJ in a dynasty startup. Shout out to Eagle Dan. Eagle Dan's in that one. He's the commissioner of it. Jorge's in that league. Behind the Zach is in that league. It's an interesting league. It's very fucking interesting. We'll say that. I'm bought in on the Chargers.
You have
I'm bought
QJ
in.
in the league we're in. You have QJ in the multiverse.
Yeah. Pat.
There's not a whole lot extra to say beyond what Mike said there, but I will say one of the things I liked is the breakdown of the contract included an injury guarantee. So he had a flat guarantee, he had an injury guarantee. So should they decide to part ways ahead of time due to an injury or something like that, Herbert's getting his money. And they got room to keep him at a decent contract level. That as we talked about the players, it's always the next man up. Well, when you got quarterbacks like that are taking 4 or 5 year contracts in 4 years, their contract is going to look really low compared to many of their peers, and it gives an option and open availability to make that next deal happen.
Do you feel that this is the Chargers as an organization saying, "Hey, we have our guy. We're invested for life with him." Do you feel like that they're going, or do you see this kind of being like a Breeze situation where it's like, yeah, you were a Charger, but realistically, you're a fucking Saint. You know, like do you see this kind of?
That's going to come down to how he performs in the postseason. Until he can beat Patrick Mahomes in that division, his job is always up in the air.
It's a day late, dollar short. It's a day late, dollar short.
Beating the Chiefs is the must do. He's got to win a division title. Mm-hmm. He's got to take that team to an AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl to have it be considered a success. They invested last offseason in Mike Williams. They invested this offseason in getting Quentin Johnston. Mm-hmm. You got Keenan Allen still under contract. He's getting older, but he's still that reliable, consistent guy. We watched Palmer become fantasy relevant as a wide receiver 3 as Williams and Allen were out last year. He's turned nobody into somebody's. He's taken tight ends and done phenomenal things. He spreads the ball around. His percentages to each position group is almost identical, 33 across the board between wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs. You're not going to find a quarterback right now in the NFL that distributes the ball across the field as well as Justin Herbert.
Absolutely. David.
I'm very high on Justin Herbert. I think he's an elite quarterback in this league, and I think the numbers reflect that. I mean, this is a guy who was first in the league in pressured completion percentage last year, second in play action completion, and third in true completion percentage. This guy can throw from all levels of the field. It doesn't really matter what kind of situation you put him in, where he has to deliver the ball, and what type of down and distance, he'll get the job done. I mean, I think that there's so many countless there's such a countless number of highlights that will illustrate that. I think what's held him back the most is this guy who I think is trying to be Riverboat Ron 2.0 with Brandon Staley. I don't know why he's trying to fucking do way too much with trying to take way too many gambles, way too many bets in late game situations that are completely unnecessary. That is the biggest question mark, because Justin Herbert has dealt with injuries in his receiving corps to both his starters in Mike Williams and Keenan Allen repetitively. He's dealt with, and I'm not blaming those guys, I'm just saying the decks are stacked up against him, okay? He's dealt with a mediocre offensive line.
Yeah.
That's also been somewhat plagued with injuries, with Rashawn Slater going down last year. And on top of that, too, the defense has been bad. The defense has been bad, so he's not really getting the utmost amount of help. I think that's why we saw a significant drop-off statistically last year, as opposed to what I expected, which was him not just maybe even, putting up one-upping his previous year, but maybe even winning the MVP and maybe furthermore winning the AFC. But the Chargers were unequivocally, in my opinion, the biggest disappointment out of anyone in the NFL. And that's even with them making the playoffs, last year. So I think, honestly, a lot of it comes down to Brandon Staley and some of the decision-making. The second half collapse last year, that's on Brandon Staley. That's not on Justin Herbert.
Very true.
That guy's back is up against the wall. There is so much pressure on him, and just a countless number of faulty decisions, including even personnel with not picking up studs like Bobby Wagner to help out your goddamn shitty-ass run-stopping defense. That could have honestly helped him out with moving farther in the playoffs. So I think it's really incumbent upon him to get things going as opposed to Justin Herbert. He's the guy who's elite, and he's the face of the franchise.
And to your point, I mean, 262, 262 and a half. I'm sitting back, if I'm the Chargers organization, I'm saying, damn it, you better go and you better get me a division title. You better go and give me a couple of playoff wins. This is them saying that, hey, we're heavily invested in this. Is our guy that's going to be the face of our franchise. The fact that his career is predicated, like you said, everything on Robbie Rumcock. Holy shit. The fact that his failures and successes are predicated on a coach like Stanley, and they're still allowing him to fucking coach. I think it's going to be kind of a situation similar to Washington, how you kind of said like the Verbo Ron 2.0, where it's like, hey Ron, if you don't do something this year, you're out, and we're just going to slide the enemy in, like I've mentioned before. I think that you could see something like that with the Chargers, where it's like, Staley, we've lost 3 games in a row. Like, fuck it, you're out of here. Let's bring in Kellen Moore. Jeff, your thoughts?
Well, I got 2 on him. So 1, yeah, it was a large contract, but the fact that they did it early, I think, made sure that the money he got wasn't inflated more than it already was. Like, this contract could have been inflated far more if they waited a lot longer to get this contract done. 2, what I like about this the most, the Chargers have not had like a legit identity on what they are or who they are or where they want to go. And this showed what it is. We're going to throw the fucking ball. We're going to give a shit ton of money to a quarterback. We're going to draft a wide receiver high. We're going to figure it out later at the running back position, but we're going to get this shit done. We're going to throw the ball. And I think that's a good thing, because for a long time, the Chargers really didn't have an identity. I don't care who was at quarterback or running back or whatever. It was always this split team. I think this set them up for success. Yes, I think Staley's the wrong coach. I think it's the last year for Staley. In fact, I honestly think that Kellen Moore move was actually to give Kellen Moore an opportunity to learn under Staley how to be a head coach. And then Staley's out next year. Kellen Moore is the head coach.
Yep.
That's
like I just mentioned, it's going to be a Washington situation. How it's like, hey, you better do something this year. How Washington has the enemy ready to slide in and be a guy. I think that's going to be the situation with the Chargers. It'll be more that'll slide in and be like, step aside, little man. I got this. And then I could see the Chargers, under a Kellen Moore being a positive fantasy football ROI offense, and to that point, being able to in the real NFL within this 5-year window with Herbert be able to secure a Super Bowl Lombardi trophy.
Oh, and I'll say for a fantasy aspect, this contract actually doesn't change anything for me. It doesn't.
No.
Herbert was going to get his money one way or another. I don't think this is a situation where Herbert got paid and now Herbert slacks off and doesn't do First of all, Herbert has overcome a lot of adversity, whether it be through college, whether it be through his first years in the NFL. This is a mentally strong kid. This is a physically strong kid. This is a very focused kid. I know it kind of sounds bad to call him a kid, but we're all older. So I really don't think that the contract will affect him in any way statistically or fantasy football wise. I think it'll be you may even see a better version of Herbert now that he got paid and he has security. Yeah, because that's all any NFL player, any professional player wants is security. He got security. Yeah. So now he knows he's locked in, and if he messes up or he screws up, like, hey, it's okay, I can work on this. Like he doesn't spin out on it.
What I find fascinating is how the narrative has changed. And SC, we're going to get into your point here next. To kind of segue into you. What I love is how the narrative as media personalities has changed. You go back, you watch old Rumboyz. It was a concern of like quarterback getting paid this much, and will you be able to structure players and structure a team around a highly paid quarterback like the Herberts, the Jacksons, so on. And now we're sitting back and we're having the conversation of no, hey, like deserved money. Will this guy be able to go and get a Super Bowl? Hey, they can still put pieces around him. They are putting pieces around him. The way that the game is reshaping is significantly different, and I love the way the conversations around it are shaping up.
When you don't have to pay running backs anymore,
fuck.
you're safe to spend even more money on your quarterback.
He's
Fuck
not,
you, Jim
it's not-
Irsay.
it's not-
Really quick,
he's
fuck
not
you,
lying.
Jim
That's
Irsay.
cold, man. Damn. But it's the truth.
Jim Irsay, I will be laying into you later. Fuck you, Jim Irsay.
Oh, that's a whole
That's
nother
it.
conversation. I'm ready to go. That was a message. There's
Yep.
a reason. There's a reason Taylor's not practicing.
Yeah.
Hey,
My
hey,
opinion, but
exactly. SC, go ahead.
all right. So I'm gonna go. I don't think I'm gonna go different, but I'm gonna say this: they had no choice. I mean, other than signing him to a long-term deal, the Chargers really had no choice. Yes, he looks good. Yes, he's doing well, but the option is to go year to year. They don't want to do that. He doesn't want to do that. And now by locking him in like this, Mike, I'm going to go a little different. I think it allows them to keep Eckler next year because now that they've locked in everybody at their cost, what's the franchise cost for a running back? Nothing. So now all of a sudden they've set themselves for the next 3 years with the quarterback, the running back, Mike Williams, and the rookie. So going forward, I think it was a no-brainer for them, but I think it lets them keep Eckler.
No, I mean it's safe to say that finally, the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers have finally done something smart business-wise.
Yeah.
I can't believe I said something nice about the Spanos family, but
Yeah.
Not that they did
Spanos
something
family.
smart, but if they had gone differently, it would have been so freaking stupid. So, you know what I mean? So let's give them credit for at least, I guess, being solid.
No, Robbie's right though. One quick thing before we go to Taco. The people, even as far up as I am, and I'm 5.5 hours away from San Diego. The state of California population hates freaking the Spanos family.
Oh yeah.
exactly.
How could you not?
Spanos family.
You know?
Oh, the Spanoses. Yeah, okay. Spanos. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, they've done
I'm
nothing
not
good in
going
San
there.
Diego.
I'm not
They've done nothing
going
good
there.
No, I
I'm
know.
not even gonna
nothing
go
good
there.
Taco, you're up.
I mean, if we're talking about Super Bowls, there ain't no way my man's going to Super Bowls in the next 5 years. That's not
I don't
happening.
see.
Not happening. He could sign all these great contracts. He could be a great player all he wants. It's just not happening. This contract just makes Patrick Mahomes look that much better because he signed his money early. He got his big money. Now, when you compare it out, Mahomes is at a value. When you compare how much of the cap Justin Herbert's getting to what Mahomes is, and now you're telling me Herbert's going to beat Mahomes when Mahomes has less money on his payroll than Herbert? Get the fuck out of here. He's not even the best quarterback in his division. How the fuck is he winning a Super Bowl? He's not even getting out of the AFC. Aaron Rodgers is now up in this bitch. You got Lamar Jackson. You got all these competitive people in the AFC. Are you going to even win fucking playoff games? How many playoff games you won Justin Herbert getting paid $60 million? So let's just be real. It is what it is. They had no choice. When you have a talent of that caliber at that position, all you do is say, listen, who was the last person to sign a contract? Here's $2 million more than them, and let's keep this line moving.
I'm gonna go the other direction. I'm gonna go the other direction.
He got paid to be the second best quarterback in that division for the next 4 years.
Is he even better?
I'm gonna go a different direction. I do think that they can win a ring.
He said the second best in that division, Taco.
I do think that they can win a ring within the next 5. They have the pieces
I do believe
within the offense
But not
to where
next
they can push. I don't think they win one next year.
Yeah.
But they have the pieces to make the push. They also have the ability to, with that young supporting cast and with that defense that is fucking immaculate.
I was about to say
All the changes and overturn that happens with other teams. There are so many factors that you have to take into account for. Aaron Rodgers ain't going to be in the fucking AFC forever. He's old.
Broncos.
I mean,
let's
Hey,
ride.
What's going to argue?
The Broncos? The fucking Broncos?
Dolphins?
The Denver Broncos will
Talking
be
about
better
them
than the
winning.
Chargers this year.
Talking about them
Hey,
in
you
general.
know what? I agree.
Taco,
with
I've got
that
a
I've
simple
been
question
telling-
I
for
fucking
you.
agree with that.
There's something I've been telling Robbie and Pat. I have said this since day one, boys, right? My biggest problem with the Chargers, even though I'm a Chiefs fan, isn't the Chargers like Herbert and them. As a Chiefs fan, I am not worried about the Chargers right now at all. And the reason being is until Staley is no longer their head coach, I am not worried about the Chargers.
It's a huge advantage for them. Agreed.
Kellen
a huge
Moore
advantage for Kansas City. Yeah,
I
he's
think
an
Kellen
idiot.
Moore
Yeah,
is
he's
the
an
head
idiot.
coach next year.
Yeah, I think Moore becomes the head coach. I think Moore becomes the head coach. To Jeff's point, they can maybe franchise tag Eckler one more year, or who knows? They end up getting
Can I
some
just say one thing
beast in the
about that?
draft.
It's crazy to me that Mike Williams is like, oh my God, yeah, we got to pay Mike Williams $15 million a year. And then you look at Eckler and you're like, I don't know. Meanwhile, Eckler's carrying that goddamn team for years.
Yeah.
Mike Williams barely plays.
Yeah.
And we don't
we
blink
lost
at Mike
him
Williams.
too.
getting paid.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say, though. I think when you look at the NFL, if you want to talk about top 10 most complete teams, the Chargers are in it. The Chargers have a problem. One of them, it's Staley. Two, there has been no more injured team in the NFL in the last 3 years than the Chargers. I don't know if it's training staff. I don't know what it is. So this is a complete team. They can win a Super Bowl. The problem is none of them can stay healthy. I mean, how many times last year?
Training staff? Their training staff just likes to puncture lungs.
They don't spend a lot of money. They don't spend money.
Poor Ty God. Poor Ty God Taylor.
Are cheap.
Really quick.
Cheap.
To the Eckler carrying the team point that Taco made.
That's nice.
Per FTN. This is the stuff that I do. It's so pretty. Austin Eckler, 31%. Top 5 running back targets per route per route run rate, and this is just within running backs alone. He is running 31% routes. He is the number 1 running back in routes ran. Something to definitely look at. To Taco's point, when you're paying Mike Williams $15 million a year, and Eckler, you're not even going to give him the Saquon treatment of just the tip.
I feel like the Spanos family.
Yeah,
I feel like
are just so cheap, man.
I feel like the Spanos family is just so stupid that they accidentally did the right thing. Like they accidentally added an extra digit onto the contract that he didn't fucking mean to. And then they happened to get this deal done because they probably were going to fuck it up initially for all I know. Cause that's just their MO.
Listen,
That's their MO,
that's
what I mean.
So they can't fuck these up.
Look.
I mean, I don't give them confetti for making this move. I give them, you didn't fuck it up.
Yeah,
exactly.
This is exactly what you're supposed to.
Exactly.
No?
This is the only good business decision you've ever made in the history of Powder Blue.
Yeah.
There's only one person that looks like it's a bad business decision, and
they kept LT.
It's probably
for a
not
while.
even that.
Damian Thompson.
Yeah.
That was. But how old were we then, Jeff?
Yeah, at junior
Sports Illustrated was still printing out magazines back then. We were still doing swimsuit editions in the freaking mail. Okay.
I saw LT play in person. Don't act like I'm that fucking old.
I did too.
One last point.
Wait. I nominate LT as the real patron saint of fantasy
I've got a question
football.
for Taco.
Okay, St. Pat, floor is yours.
Thank you. So Taco, when you say that Herbert's contract won't lead to a Super Bowl, but it'll be a ton of money for him and he's going to do really well.
Yep.
What quarterback does that remind you of?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning got some. Kirk
Listen, he
Cousins.
got carried.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does Justin Herbert have a career path like Kirk Cousins without the team?
much
switch?
better.
No,
Kirk Cousins is good,
because I don't.
Hell no.
Herbert's big game losses and primetime losses are because Staley doing dumb shit.
Pretty much.
Kirk Cousins can't play in prime at all, and should just sit back and fucking cry every time he loses a damn primetime game and have to go and explain to his kids why the fuck daddy sucks at football.
Well, we hate to
I don't know about
turn-
that last part, but yeah,
We hate to turn
Kirk
game
Cousins is good at
manager.
football. Kirk Cousins is not good at primetime football.
If you
Well,
look
right
at
about that, you're right.
if you watch the TV show,
Kirk Cousins in the playoffs has
Yeah.
better stats in every category than Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, Joe Burrow.
I know.
So admit that he's better than Joe Burrow.
Because
No.
and that's because Kirk Cousins is a game manager. You're talking about Justin Herbert is an elite athlete and an elite quarterback.
And
Kirk Cousins
is Alex Smith 2.0. He's Alex Smith 2.0.
No, if you're throwing 30 touchdown
Cousins
passes and
also has
4,000 yards, I don't
Jefferson.
call that game managing for me, in my opinion.
Kirk
Look at his
Cousins had
receivers.
Diggs,
How do you
he had
not throw
Jefferson,
Game
for
managing has changed, but
Thielen hasn't been good for a couple
Hold
years
up, hold
now.
up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. What is up? My Paisan in the
Hey.
chat. We got
Hey, John.
Jake Bats. What is good? Yo, a lot of old school happening tonight. Damn.
Can I
Can
just say
football season, bro?
Can I just say
Football
one
locking
thing
in.
before we move on? I also wanted to. You brought up Drew Brees. I don't think this compares at all to Drew Brees, and the reason why I say that, and respectfully I say this, because he's not dealing with some serious legit shoulder issue like Drew Brees was when he was leaving San Diego at the time. And then on top of that, I think he's better than Drew Brees was when Drew Brees was in
Okay, so he's going to be Phillip Rivers. where he's a Charger for life.
I think he's already better than Phillip Rivers.
He's going to be a Charger for life and win no rings.
Rivers is a future Hall of Fame quarterback in my eyes. I love Phillip Rivers.
I don't know if Herbert's a Charger for life.
But he's never been a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Yeah,
Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback.
But I'm talking about from like the narrative standpoint, not the stat standpoint. I was talking like he'll be Rivers, he'll be Dan Fouts, be a Charger for life. That's what you're saying.
No Super Bowl.
Herbert's going to end up being traded for parts
because the franchise is bullshit.
Yeah. One thing that I want to get into here, I know that we keep kind of coming back to like running back talk, but surprise, one running back actually did get some money this weekend. It's a little bit weird, and the reactions around this payday are weird. Saquon Barkley, 1 year, $11 million deal. A lot of it's incentive loaded. What are y'all's thoughts? Taco, you start this one off.
I think it was well from what I remember, it's mostly guaranteed as like $900K in incentives. But the problem with it for me is I heard he had some better deals. And again, these are all rumors, so we don't know specifically. He signed shortly after that Zoom meeting that all the players had, but there was rumors he had some better contracts on the table in the middle of the season that he turned down, thinking that he'd be a better market, and it turned out not to be true. And then he went on this podcast and tried to come out to like say I could do things, and then he opts. I feel like this is weird all across the board.
Oh yeah,
I feel like the organization basically said to Saquon, "Boy, listen, you get in line, you do your shit, and we'll talk next year." And Saquon said, "Okay," and that's what happened.
I feel like
a good guy. He knows what it is, and the organization after that interview, because this came out shortly after he did that podcast, where he kind of was like getting a little froggy, and training camp just starts. And then you know what? They basically said, "Boy, listen, we not having another Odell." That's what I feel like basically came out of this. And Saquon is not that kind of guy. So he's like, you know what? I'm not trying to rock the boat. Let's renegotiate next year. I'll take this for what it is. I'm still getting $11 million. Like when you look at it, I'm still like the third or fourth highest paid running back or top 5, So I don't like the negotiation. I think on both sides, it could have been better. I think at the end of the day, this is a cop out. You signed out to the tag. This shit should have been done a lot sooner. With he
showed that he had no backbone, and from the business standpoint of things, he showed that he had no backbone. The way that he kind of, I feel like, folded.
Yep, agreed. And Saquon's my guy, but you know what? He also put himself in a bad position. He has no leverage, and then he comes out and he starts talking hot-ish. And I don't know how the way the organization comes out, it feels like that, because from the way I'm looking at the way it's run, they don't play those games. And if you're not playing those games, say, listen, if you want to go, we're going to cut you. But if you want to stay, we'll pay you this.
Robbie, I'm going to assume we're going in the reverse order. So I'm going to jump right in here behind Taco.
Okay.
And what I'm going to say is, I think, and Taco, you touched on it. I think it's that conference call. I think he was on that call, and some of the vets said, guys, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Until we find some way to do this differently, if you don't sign that line, that money's gone.
Yep.
So I'm not overly surprised that he signed right after that call. But I wish he had got a few more incentives so that if they had done it again next year, his bottom line salary would have been higher. right? So if they had double franchise him, at least they would have started at a higher number. But I think, like you said, I think that conference call was big.
It's interesting how it all played out. Jeff, the scout.
So I guess I'm going to take this in a different way. Yeah, I think it's a cop out, but to me, yes, Barkley could have got more money. Barkley should have got more money.
He should have gotten more money.
I feel like this deal, Barkley sat down, and Barkley is a team player. He took a team-friendly deal.
Absolutely.
So now they have the flexibility if something happens in training camp, or if they need to go out and make a big trade, if the deadline comes and they're sitting right there because he took a little bit less money instead of the tag, they have the ability to go out and get whoever it is. So I wouldn't say he had no backbone. I think Barkley stood up to his own team and said, look, I'm going to take one for the team one time. We're going to do this one time. I'm going to give you the opportunity to put stuff around us in a division that they could win. It's possible they could win. I'm going to take one for the team, give us some cap flexibility. So if something happens, we can go out, we can go make a move, and we can grab that person we need to make sure.
So going back to Taco's point about the podcast. Okay. Yes, it is. I get the team friendly aspect. You tried to pitch it on air as if, well, I need to, make sure I take care of my family and knowing damn well the abuse that you have taken on that field year after year after year since you came out your rookie year. You played the most fucked up, volatile position in the sport, in the game, and $11 million 1 year after everything that you've done for that team and that organization, and that's how they treat you. No, you should. I feel like it's for Saquon, instead of fucking sitting back and being Damian Lillard in Portland and being, I'm just gonna try and stick it out. We're gonna win one together. Oh, my friends, fuck that. Go get a ring. Go win some money. You're too talented to not have hardware sitting on your shelf at the end of your career.
How about a shout out to the Giants, who not only got their quarterback signed long term, they got their offensive lineman signed.
Yep, Andrew Thomas. Yeah,
Andrew Thomas. Yeah,
and they tucked Barkley into their pocket for the next year or two.
Yeah. And we got Dexter Lawrence that we re-signed.
Where everyone else is playing checkers. Great move by the Giants.
Quick question, Jeff. Do you see the Commanders having a chance to use Mr. Scout? Do you see the Commanders having a chance to win this division?
No.
Do you see the Giants having a chance to win this division?
No.
I don't.
Like no.
I think there's a chance, and the only
Wait till my argument.
Here we go.
The only reason why I say they have a chance is, first of all, I don't trust Dallas to do anything ever at any point in the history of time. Like, to me, they're like, if you're sports betting, I think it's a dart throw every time you bet on them. I don't care which way you bet.
I agree.
It's because of the penalties. Yeah, Dallas is difficult to bet on because of the penalties.
And Philly, I don't trust Jalen Hurts to do it twice. And I don't trust Philly to stay healthy.
It's the NFC East. No one repeats as division winner.
It's a really weird spot, but I think the Giants have enough pieces on both offense and defense. Do I think Daniel Jones is the real deal? No, but they've got a great coach, and they've got everything they need to do what they need to get done. Like, they've made the right moves. I think it's extremely possible they win this division. I don't think it's out of the question at all whatsoever.
Okay, that's cute. That's cute.
David, Robbie can't talk right now. David, you're up.
Yep.
Okay.
My turn.
Man, I love it.
So I think with Saquon, it's more than likely this is his last year with the Giants, because I think no, but it's but remember he can't but I'm saying,
I thought this was hot takes on Rumboyz. Come on.
Wait, hold on. They
just wait till me and you talk, Pat.
They didn't get a no franchise agreement from him for next year. They can franchise him again.
He doesn't. He could choose not to sign it, and just sit out. And I think honestly, Saquon is at a breaking point. I thought they were going to reward him with. I mean, what did he net in terms of the improvement from the franchise tag to this new deal? It's $900K improvement.
I'll get to that.
All right.
And if anyone deserves it, it's him.
No, absolutely. I think
Yes.
he's the most valuable asset to that offense. Okay,
To that whole
more than
fucking
Andrew
team.
Thomas. Exactly.
Everything
More than
from
Daniel
everything
Jones.
on the field and off the field. You fucking 11 million. You spit in that man's face. New York,
If
you
you-
spit in that man's face.
If he wants to get the money that he's seeking
I
out,
agree.
if he wants to put his foot down, what he will do is he will sit out this season if that's what he wants to do. Now, I'm not going to shame him for either or. I mean, he's still getting paid $11 million. And hey, let's be real. That fucking set us all up for life if we got paid $11 million like right now on the spot. That's great money.
Yeah.
But he wants long-term.
But we're talking about the NFL.
Yeah, no, I get it. And so, but I'm not going to shame on him for taking a lesser deal so he can stay in a familiar environment that he seemingly likes because he chose to, remain there, and he believes
Why
that
you
they
want to
can
pay
win.
those taxes? I don't know, but continue.
Oh, touche. There is that bullshit for sure. Because New York is a rough one in that regard. But I think honestly, with Saquon, I think he's getting to a breaking point where like. He warrants so much more money. There's no way that a third string wide receiver or kickers or even offensive linemen
I just have one question
should warrant
for you,
more money
David.
than a star
I have
running
one
back.
question for you, David.
But then to add that, for
That's the
they're not
business,
just,
though.
like
That's not.
All right,
That's the
well,
business.
how do you get less money than zero? Because if he didn't play, he gets nothing. So I mean, something is better
What was
than
that
nothing.
you said?
He was on the tag. It's not like he was going to go
Bro.
somewhere else. If he doesn't sign, he's going to get nothing. He's going to
Dude,
get zero.
Saquon
So
Barkley,
he had
bro.
really
Do you
no
know how
choice.
his name alone? His
I
name
agree.
alone
But
will
he
make
wasn't
him
going
11
anywhere.
million doing something else after what he has done in his NFL
But
career.
think about
He's
that.
good
In
at-
the New York market, he gets the most doing the something else because we have obviously the kind of market for that. But I mean, realistically, what was his other option? Not
Yeah,
play
nothing.
and get
This
nothing.
is
This is
I
it.
here's the thing: if the deal for this upcoming season, because it's a 1-year contract, if the
Yeah.
deal yielded more for him to earn this upcoming season, I think it'd be a different story about what his future would be with the Giants than it is right now. Because the fact that he only netted, like we said, barely a fraction more than what he originally fucking almost was offered. That's not a good sign that he wants to stay.
No.
That's a sign of
Agreed.
disrespect by the Giants office to want to
No,
kind of push him
see,
out the door if he
I
wants
don't
to ask
think-
for more money.
I don't think it's disrespect. It just is what
It's
it is.
disrespect. It's disrespect.
No,
He
it-
warrants
it-
so
it
much
is
He
what it
built
is.
So
Saquon
much
built
more money.
so the success that New York had last year should, as excited as Taco is like, the chance of us to win the division. If they win the fucking division this year, and you've only fucking paid him 11 million, no, you need to fucking cut him a big check. You need to
I
build
agree.
statues
Yeah.
of this man
No.
outside of the fucking
Well,
stadium.
Dude,
You need to
listen,
be. You need
go back-
New York.
we go
Listen,
back
he's
to
doing
what we
the
were
shuck
talking
and
about
jive
last
this
week.
year. Let's see what happens next year. He
The
has
New York
last-
Giants are not good without Saquon.
My last question
I
I want to
agree.
ask you guys, okay? What is the next position after quarterback that has the most impact on a team's success, at least offensively, and maybe frankly for the entire team as a whole?
Offense?
What is it?
The running
It's
game.
running back.
Yep, the running back.
Exactly. It's running
number
backs,
two wide
I
okay?
would say
receiver.
left tackle.
The number
No,
2 wide receiver.
Definitely. People say, here's the thing. People say
Dude,
that
look
running
what
backs
the-
are a
look
dime a
what
dozen.
the
I
Chiefs-
believe that
the
offensive
Chiefs
linemen are
crushed
more
that
so a
argument.
dime a dozen than running backs.
How many running backs?
All
get
right,
paid
getting
less
into
than
it.
Zay Jones.
Getting
Pat,
into it.
go.
Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, let's go to Pat.
So
Go, Pat.
we keep talking this $900,000 number. You know what you can get for $900,000 this year?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
A track hawk and a fucking
Damian
Hellcat.
Pierce.
Yeah.
Damian Pierce's entire salary.
Now that's
That's how much you got
beautiful way to do
extra over the franchise tag.
Isaiah
With-
Pacheco.
He's more than
Bro-
Pacheco.
Pacheco's
This
like
was
at
Damian Pierce.
450.
My
Yep.
God.
Jesus, only 4.
So when we're talking,
Why are they all running backs?
Because
I'm comparing to other running backs.
Hold on.
Seventh pick.
Continue, Pat.
We've
Go,
got to
Pat,
keep that in mind.
sorry.
900,000 isn't tiny money. This is still significant amount of money. And Jeff was saying it pretty well, but I think he was struggling to get the point across to you guys. But if he takes that 11 million, that's 11 million he wouldn't have. Next year, either gets franchise tagged or gets another roughly $8 to $10 million at least. because the market's soured, but it's not soured that far
Yeah.
for a top guy.
Mhm.
Suddenly, you're looking at 2 years, $20 million guaranteed. The guaranteed money was what Saquon's issue was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't
No,
want-
absolutely.
They were given the AAV, but they weren't given the guaranteed.
When maybe
they were
years
gonna-
too, you know.
They were going to let him. They're going to cut him. They're going to pull
Mm-hmm.
what Dallas did with Zeke, pay him, guarantee him the money, and then pull it back when they were done with him.
And
Saquon
anything
didn't
he
mark
makes,
that.
It's just
and
so ugly,
just like you
you know?
said, patron saint of fantasy football is that anything he makes this year, if they franchise him again, is 20% on top of that. So
Yeah.
anything he can squeeze out of them now,
Yeah.
I
gets
think he
him
goes to
even
30
more
million.
next year.
Suddenly,
He's
that 2 year deal for 28 mil with 16 mil guaranteed is looking like a worse deal.
Yes.
So go out there, make your bank, do what you got to do. We're seeing in professional sports, GMs do not want to pay for past production.
This is a what have you done for me lately game.
It's
But
terrible. I've watched it happen with my Tigers as I watched Miguel Cabrera turn into the ghost of himself and struggle to hit 200.
Yeah, but you also
I've
got
seen it.
Spencer Torkelson.
I've seen it play out where these guys get these great long big contracts and they just don't pay out and it's not worth it. And
Well, I
if
think
you're
baseball
running a
I think he
business
was-
and you-
I think he
and
was
you're
great for a
wanting
lot
to
of
win the
years,
Super Bowl,
Mhm.
you can't have dead money on a hard cap team.
Mhm.
You can't afford that.
Well, you know, I
Kills
just
you.
if I can ask one other question, is there an underlying reason for pertaining to the possibility that the Giants may have done this because they want to test out Saquon's health for next year to see, like, because this is gonna, the previous 2 years before this, he was plagued with injuries. Finally, he's healthy this year. You know,
I'm not.
if he
I'm
goes
not-
out and he balls out, win a
They
half
also had
year.
a fucking
It
horrible
does.
turn.
It does
I
show
think that's
there is
a
a
fair-
fragility.
You know what I'm
I think
saying?
that's a
Could they
fair
reward
thing
him
to
if he
say.
plays healthy this year and he plays well? You know,
But also,
So-
guys, remember their turf was fucking shit. So they also hurt
And-
him by that shit
True.
they put out there.
But
We've
I think
already
that's
seen
a
it.
fair
We've already
question.
seen how
I
quick-
think you can't.
Doing
you
it seems
can't-
play out there. Come
How
on.
quick the
Jeff?
running back market changes and how quickly someone hits their decline. We saw it with Todd Gurley. We've seen it with even James Robinson. 2.5 years into the league now, and he's an afterthought.
But yeah.
So I am never in charge of the show, but Drop the Mic has been very quiet, but he's been very insistent that he has some very quality.
No, I know.
things.
I know.
So let's go, Mike. You've been waiting. You've been thinking. You said you
Make
had some
Mama
points.
Hicks
Let's
proud.
go.
he's
Mama
just
Hicks
gotten
fucking-
his revenge
Hey,
on how to
let's
off
go.
Pat over here.
Mike said, "Why do
go, Mike.
alligators
Let's
have
hear 'em.
all them teeth and no toothbrush?"
All I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to preface my comment by saying my whole take is under the assumption that the Giants do not make the playoffs. Okay, let's go.
Me
there.
too. Me too.
Okay, here's
I'll
the
echo
reason.
that.
No, but here's the thing. Here's why this is why. I think the Giants are freaking manipulating son of a bitch pimps from the hood of New York.
Okay.
Okay?
That's pretty strong.
We all
pretty
know how
strong.
those okay.
That was the whitest shit you've ever said.
That was.
it's not.
I was like, I was like, do you think that pimps just fucking like?
Robbie,
I'm like, where do you think
With
that
the
pimps
purple
be, bro?
Robbie,
And
you
the
have no
lowrider.
word talking
David,
anything
that was
about pimps.
hilarious, David.
Robbie, you have no word talking anything about pimps, okay?
Hey, yo, that shit was
Watch him
funny.
just say, "Does
They're
drop
called
the mic
pimples,
FF have
and
to
they're on
choke
your
a
mom's
bitch?"
back.
Hey,
Go ahead.
hold on, I gotta go tell Pat's mom to be quiet. I'll be right there. Okay.
Oh my God, that's the best.
Okay. Here's the thing. The reason I'm saying this about the Giants, and I think this was a dumb thing on Barkley's part. I understand he had to do what he had to do. I do agree with Taco. I can't believe he's not there for me to hear this. I do agree that it partly has to do with the interview, but
I do. Yeah.
it would have
I
been
was just making a
10.
drink.
It would have been 10.1 for the freaking the franchise tag. It's $900K more. The problem that I have with his fucking incentives, and this is why I say the Giants aren't making the playoffs, every one of them is based on yards and making the playoffs, touchdowns and making the playoffs,
Playoffs.
receptions and making the
They
playoffs.
do.
So guess what?
Playoffs.
Taco, he's making the same goddamn money if he would have signed the fucking franchise tag, you freaking idiot. And I'm not calling you guys idiots. I'm calling Saquon an idiot.
Oh, come on. Saquon's such a nice guy, though. Come on.
Saquon, yo, but nice. All right. For real.
He's making the
Like,
same money.
hold on. For real. We've all seen what did 50 Cent say in Get Rich or Die Trying? He was like, love. It's like, fuck love. Love will get you killed. Nice. Fuck around and get your goddamn ACL blown off in the NFL.
Oh, I thought
Like,
he said.
Well, he also
send me
like
those seeds, I'll grow them seeds.
Hold on. Like for real. I don't like the deal. I am very much the analyst that is always preaching player first, get your money first. I don't like it. I don't like the way the incentives are lined up because should he get hurt or should they not make the playoffs, that shit's gone.
Okay.
So we can all sit back and be like, what if? Let's be realistic when it comes to Saquons, Barkley. When it comes to Saquons, we don't really know which Saquon we're gonna get. We know we're gonna get if healthy. We don't know if he's going to stay healthy. We have 2.5 years out of his 5-6 year career
You're right.
that we could go off.
So you're right.
Yeah.
Well, Robbie,
The
what does this do- what
other
does this do for
two,
Dalvin Cook?
2.5
Or 3
he
years.
was
Yeah. Mhm.
injured.
So let me ask a dumb question. Let's say it was $11 million flat. Year 1, year 2, franchise was a flat number, and the Giants didn't want to go to 2-22. Should he accept 2-17? 2-16? You know what I mean? Where does that line come off the franchise tag where it's worth him taking that second year at a discount rate for the guarantee?
Here's my point. Here's my point to that. If you were gonna fucking take 11 million, you should have taken 11 million and ring chased.
Well, Robbie, I got a question.
How though?
And I got a question for the panel. Like the whole panel can answer this.
Yeah, he was. You're right.
What's that, Jeff?
What does this deal do for Dalvin Cook?
Dalvin, we're about to. Yep, and that's
a
actually
good
where we're
question.
about to segue
That's a top
into
question.
next. Yeah, that's where we're about to segue into next. So perfect way keeping it in New York. I had published this earlier this week. I have been working with a very, 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 very close source. A very, very fucking close source.
You don't tell me this. You didn't tell me any of that. I could have made a trade in my fantasy league. You don't tell me any of this.
That's insider trading, Jeff.
I was,
do that.
well, that's what
But,
we need. We need the.
hey,
I could have used that. I could have used that, Robbie.
I apologize. But I had actually kind of I teased this. I think I put it out on Twitter and Facebook. I know I definitely was. It was on my Facebook.
Rumboyz Robin Hood up here. You know,
Dalvin Cook. I had already had the intel that he was going to be visiting the New England Patriots. Big ups to Taco. Taco, was keeping an open mind, and he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about the Jets." About 2 hours after, Taco and I kind of, go back and forth on that debate, Aaron Rodgers then restructures, thus making it to where it reopened the door. When the door was closed from the New York Jets to Cook, it reopened it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dalvin is saying the odds are pretty high that he ends up a New York Jet, but the Patriots, from right before I got on air, from what I'm hearing from my sources, that the Patriots are anything that the Jets are willing to do, the Patriots are willing to go a little bit just ahead, like a little bit more. It sounds like it's
They screwed us in the draft. They literally traded so that way they could take our offensive lineman away. He literally went out and said that.
It's starting to look more so like a tit for tat situation, a whatever you do, I'm going to outdo you type of thing. What are your thoughts?
To me, I love this.
What are you guys' thoughts on this situation? Is this going to be kind of like that feeling that we had with D-Hop, and we were like, this is fucking awful, but you took the best option for you. Like, are we going to be looking at that? Should he become a Patriot? Or like, I know that if he becomes a Jet, we're all going to be like, oh, Jet Super Bowl odds increase him. Like, what are your thoughts?
Let me take this one real quick because I am a Jets fan. So let me take it real quick.
Okay.
You gotta go quick. So just go down turn.
I don't want Dalvin Cook on the Jets.
After you.
We've got a bunch of running backs on that roster. I don't want to pay Dalvin Cook $11-12 million.
Yeah.
And we've got Hall, we've got Knight, we've got players we've already seen. As a Jets fan, I don't want him on the team. Not that he's a good player, not that I don't think he's worth it. I just think that there's enough talent already in that running back room that there's no reason to add.
Okay.
100% agree with that.
Mike.
I'm not disagreeing, but number 8 disagrees with you. And I think that's why he will be a Jet. I think that's partially why it happened. It's number 8 that is saying, I want more than just young talent. He loves his veterans. He loves people that he can count on. I think number 8 wants him to be there so that they can have, in Aaron's mind, a legit chance of competing. And if that means you're paying him 10 or 11 million, guess what? I think they're going to one-up Bill just enough. And we all know that you're not going to use him the way a bell cow should because it's a Niners offense, but I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
Pat, you're up.
It's really interesting to hear that it's number 8 making those calls.
That's why I want to throw it to you.
Especially considering he's seen Dalvin Cook have monster games in Green Bay. The biggest concern for me as a Packers fan, but also as someone that has loved watching Dalvin Cook and has hated seeing him play as a Viking his entire career, is he struggles to hold on to the ball. He comes down with injuries where he comes down grabbing and hurting himself every time
he fumbles the ball
comes out.
Yeah.
It's ugly. It's terrible. And if Aaron Rodgers cares about ball security more than anyone else, you see it with his interception numbers. He doesn't throw risky balls. He makes sure that things are taken care of. And it doesn't make sense to me other than just wanting the veteran presence. If I wanted the veteran presence and I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'd want Zeke. I want someone that can protect me in the pocket when he's on the field, who's not afraid to put the smack down on a blitzing linebacker or a blitzing safety, and is going to still give me consistency out of the backfield.
Pat, if that was the case, don't you think they already would have brought Zeke in?
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
But I think that Zeke, that's where I'm at, is where I think he has a better fit there than Dalvin Cook. I don't see Dalvin Cook being a good fit and good for the Jets.
I disagree there. I disagree just because when Dalvin is not grabbing something when he just so may happen to fucking drop the ball and put it on the ground, the man can go heads up against a Mike linebacker. So that's the part where I do disagree, and I do feel like from a football standpoint, a Jet signing of Dalvin Cook would be positive. Obviously, you're worrying about your shares of Breece Hall at that point, but honestly, I hope that all of you that are rostering Breece Hall have to deal with that because, I want to see you cry and I want to see that pain. But outside of that, if he should become a Patriot, that doesn't scare me as much. Just because I don't see the Patriots from an NFL standpoint, I don't see the Patriots, no matter who the fuck they sign, being above 500. Like 500 is probably like right on the nose for the Patriots. Even if they were to sign Cook, I feel like Cook would waste what is left of his career. If he goes to the Jets, he gets a ring. If he goes to the Patriots, all of our Ramondre Stevenson shares tank and fucking they run Dalvin in the ground and Dalvin ends up with no hardware.
Well, Pats do love to run by committee a lot. I mean, they've only had one guy I'm sorry, they've never had in the Bill Belichick era, they've never had a running back rush for more than 1,000-yard season in their entire career with the Patriots. Okay,
Pat.
Not even Corey Dillon. But getting back to Dalvin Cook, though, I don't think the Jets should be pursuing any running back, especially Dalvin too. When they've already, and I love Dalvin. I think Dalvin is still a top flight back. I think he's top 6 in the league still. I'm very high on Dalvin Cook, honestly. But they're like Jeff said, they're absolutely stacked with running backs galore right now, with Breece Hall, with Michael Carter, with Izzy Abanikanda, who I'm high on. Travis Dye, Zonovan Knight had some good moments last year. There's just no necessary reason to sign him, honestly. It's just not necessary whatsoever. I think, honestly, if they want to get better in a certain area, you invest in the offensive line. You solidify that because that's where they're injury prone for one thing too, especially in that regard. Especially with Dwayne Brown is on the PUP list. You've had Mekhi Becton who's been dealing with the injuries. I think Elijah Vera Tucker. He's been plagued with injuries too. Who's a top flight guard too for that offense line. That's where you solidify it, honestly. So. I just would prefer them there to focus on that particular aspect to their offense. But I guess Rodgers ends up saving $35 million,
Yeah.
So he goes from like $55 million a year to like
100%.
$35 million.
Yep. And what's great about that for the Jets, SC, you're muted. What's great about that for the Jets is like even if you don't utilize this for Dalvin and to bring in any other pieces, you most certainly, and what I was told from a source is that this was more so done. It was less about bringing in talent, and it was more so done in the event that Rodgers feels healthy enough to want to keep competing and keep going. They can have the money to be able to re-sign him again. Jeff.
So for the Rodgers restructure, I think the Rodgers restructure was totally done for the offseason. So that way, if we are missing a piece, they can go out and pay for it. As far as Dalvin Cook to the Patriots, I think it's a death sentence. Because I think, you've got Ramondre over there, but you've also got Pierre Strong over there.
Yep, exactly. Kevin Harris too.
This is also the Patriots have not been in the position they are currently in since a pre-Tom Brady era, pre-Drew Bledsoe era. I think this is the worst the Patriots have ever been in. And I think if Dalvin Cook goes there, you run into this really weird situation of like a 3-4 running back committee that does nothing for him. So unless they want to give him 3 years at $10 million a year, if they give him like 1 year, $11 million, and he goes back on the market and he gets 800 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 200 yards in the air, he's not getting that again. Like, it's just not going to happen. I think it's a death sentence for him to go to the Patriots. I don't want him on the Jets. I think the only logical option is for him to go to Miami, but for some reason, and I don't know if it's behind the scenes, I don't know if it's something we don't know about, Miami seems to be off the table for
Miami's
whatever
completely
reason.
off the table.
And I don't know why, because it seemed like a perfect fit. They had the money, everything. Maybe the Jalen Ramsey changes things. Maybe if Jalen's out, they're like, oh, we need to go play offense more. Or maybe they come to their senses and realize that Tua can't get hit 24/7 anymore. I'm not sure, but for whatever reason, Cook seems off the table in Miami. So I think for Cook, this is a lose-lose situation. I think Barkley set the table for his contract. I don't think he'll get more than Barkley got. I think Barkley set the table for whatever he gets. If he ends up going to the Patriots, I think it's a death sentence. If he ends up going to the Jets, like if he gets hurt one time and Hall takes over that backfield like he did last year, or Knight comes in and starts taking some of those shares, because we know Knight can do a lot of things, Cook's not getting back on the field. I don't think Cook wins either way if he ends up in the East in any way, shape, or form, unless it's in Miami.
SC and then Taco, then we got halftime.
No, I don't disagree with any of that. I know we're getting late. We're on the clock, so I think that's pretty good stuff. So, Taco, go to you.
I mean, are we not on the same page here that Dalvin Cook was like a Pro Bowler coming off some elite seasons, and now we're talking about Knight being able to like keep this man off the field?
It's just that they've already got enough help.
Here's the bottom line when you look at this Jets.
You didn't even know the Jets backfield depth when David was reading it. You're like, who?
Hey,
So,
he
I mean,
thinks
JD
Jeff Dye
Knight
is the
last
guy that
year,
works at a paint shop.
I had him in a few at the end of the weeks last year when he had the full duties. Yes, he's done some nice things, but at the end of the day, you have an old Aaron Rodgers back there. This man does not want to be throwing 30 times per game. Brees Hall is coming off an
Yeah,
injury.
he does.
Brees Hall is coming off a serious injury. Brees Hall is in his second year in the league. You're talking about unproven backs behind him. Aaron Rodgers just took 35. Who's behind him that's a proven back like Dalvin Cook? Not one goddamn person.
the running back position is getting younger, though. The running back position is getting younger.
Is getting younger, but this is a team that has a window of right now. I don't need to
I
worry
should
about
have just
later. I'm worrying about right now. They're trying to win right now. They're not trying to say what's
I'm actually
happening
agreeing
tomorrow.
with Taco.
This
so
team
keep
is
going.
trying to win today. And if you're trying to win today, you need to make sure you limit number 8's exposure behind center, getting hit. And what do you need to do? You need to run the ball. Now, when you take a $35 million restructure, that leaves $10 million for you to sign Cook. And then you got what? The rest of the money go get you another offensive lineman, some more beefcakes to keep pushing and protect this guy. They're not done. But when you look at the first domino, you get the top running back.
Go Taco.
So you can get Cook for 8 games a year. Like,
But you know
I mean,
what?
hey, but that's a
Think about
solid
that.
8 games.
He
That's a
has
solid
8 games a year, but then he's healthy for the playoffs, and he's able to make that run in the playoffs when you need him.
They're already set, though.
Give me those 4 games, and we win a Super Bowl.
They're already set though at the run game. They already
they are set at the run game.
Back from an injury, do you 100% know that he's going to be able to perform at that level? Why would
you go to Michael Carter?
Have
you go to Izzy
running back there?
Exactly, bro. They have depth. That's the thing. The Jets have depth. So to David and Jeff's point, they have a fuck ton of depth.
Yeah.
This is not a position. The running back position. Look at how many backs are just out there lollygagging. They ain't getting no fucking money right now.
I do agree with this side of the screen that they do have depth. I think what Taco's point is they don't have proven depth, and I think that's what Taco's only trying to say.
At the running back position, though, you're right now. Teams aren't going out there and spending fucking guap for that proven depth. Like no one's going.
But Robbie, teams don't have quarterbacks that are restructuring $35 million to make sure that you're giving him a shot to win a Super Bowl. When a quarterback tells me I'm giving you $35 million, go get me a fucking running back. Go sign Dalvin Cook.
He could.
I don't know if that's necessarily what he's saying. Like I feel like Rodgers needs the line more so.
Do you think the way this is all lining up, Rodgers doesn't have a hand in this? He immediately resigns, and now Dalvin Cook is immediately.
Oh, Rodgers definitely has a hand in it.
So,
he has a hand in it.
But I think Rodgers re-signing, like, to be honest with you, like, yes, Dalvin Cook is coming to visit. Rodgers re-signed, the way that he changed it to me makes me think that the Jets are currently in the trade market for the offensive line. And they are looking big time at offensive line, and they're looking for someone to put that money on. That's what that says to me.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're monitoring the situation very closely. It's interesting. It's a very, from what I'm knowing behind the scenes, it's very petty between both sides, being that its division rivals try to go after
remember,
the same
Bill Belichick
teams.
was a Jet, and then he left. And Bill Belichick hates the Jets, so
I should have made up all those Jets running back names just to fuck with Taco to see if he knew any of them. You know?
Well, no, Knight was a Jet last year.
No, we're talking about. Yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's get into halftime. We will see you guys on the other side. Remember, ftnfantasy.com, promo code FTN30. Last day that our almanac is on sale, and also our draft guide is on sale as ready. So be on the lookout for those 2 things. Let's go, Mike.
conversations ain't hard to relate. It's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it. Good friend, go where you're not.
I ain't waiting a second, I'm going in now. No freestyling, no this some pimp pal shit. See, I don't make moves to get rich, shuffling quick. And I only fuck with bitches who be slobbing on that. I can get nasty, but I'm usually where the cash be. Rolling weed, sitting back, blowing shit to Cassie. I ain't doing it for the rich way, so I brought Rich Ray. When I come around like Dom, that look this way. Right into my own shit, I swear I be doing the most shit. Give you hits like Tyson and giving you vibes like Bryson. Certain things in life be so expensive, but I buy them. Certain things in life be so enticing, but I can't try them. You looking for what you looking for, yeah, I'm the item. I'll hold you down forever, you my nigga, yeah, item. I'm coming for what you say you hold, I'm all about it. Blinked up, turn the beat up, now we clouded. Feet up on heat up, red Jordan ones. Niggas needing shills, I'm clapping shit, man, I'm the chosen one. Neck wrist on freezer like magnet. On my Taga and Chris Brown, I can handle it.
Let me handle it, smoking like the candle lit. Any beat I study, break it down and then dismantle it. Competition challenge it, I'm dealing with some damages. Juggle lots tonight, but now I'm learning how to manage it. I've been to the bottom of bottoms, I never been to the top. I pop some bottles with models, I see my friends getting shot. I sip and drown in my sorrows, I smoke a weed by the lot. I stand and post on the corner, you'll never look. I ball like a piston, you'll never play my position. You catching what I'm pitching, I'm switching, no contradiction. I'm fishing for opposition, no vision and optimism. I wish I was kinda different, but I know my mind is different. I see them bitches smiling, long as she happy. I'm on the beat violin with my nigga T Savvy. We go back in the day and bring the heat. Cali, you ain't got nothing to say. The nigga be silent. Hey buddy, don't say shit. Everybody cap, changing faces like a facelift. They think they all that. Trust me, bitch, you just basic. In 20 years, you'll be looking back, wishing to erase it.
And I'm too savvy, I'ma get it to the end of my days. And I'll be only blowing smoke if it's that Jenny A. You say you always keep a 9, but niggas, I always keep a 8. Niggas straight in my face with that cap, it's okay. Niggas stay with a fresh cut, need it, no way. I can't take these niggas serious like all the brothers Wayans. I just be adding up experience while I'm changing up my wins. And I got my own condo, so I just change it how it's laid.
And me, I'm never changing lanes. I got a better way to demonstrate and elevate the game. I keep a level-headed saying I told the devil pave the way. If ever I see there's a day, I'll disappear like David Blaine. I never had it from magic, I had to grab it from tragic. Sometimes I wish like Aladdin, get thrown the pits with the dragons. Imagine living in lavish, I wanna get it, I have it. I remember shit in the trash cans, in the trenches in Afghan. But I made it back to the States, made it back to being black. And now they laugh in my face. With all that's happening, it's so hard to say this place is so great. So on the track, I found my faith and put my faith in the tape. Yeah.
Savvy, Richard Ray, and that's it. Oh yeah, Young Savvy lifestyle. Peace.
What are going on? What's going on, people?
What's up?
Give me 1 second. I had to make a drink.
Man, threads that went and it left so fast, right?
So
Yeah, does anyone have a thread?
I'm on Threads.
So Taco, I want you to know, Taco, I'm taking the ferry over to Long Island to meet up with you, bro. I want you to know.
What happened?
I'm gonna take the ferry over, and
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah,
come
bro.
hang out with you. When are we
Hell
gonna
yeah.
do that?
Yeah, we'll do it one of these Sundays when whatchamacallit, the games are kicking off. And we'll go meet up. What happened?
So,
Alrighty, alright.
What's the nearest ferry to you that goes to New London?
I forget which one, but it's on the North Shore, I believe. It's
All
not
right,
too
we
far.
gotta work that out. We're
Yeah,
gonna
we'll figure it out.
freak these guys out one Friday night. I'm gonna walk out of that back closet over your left shoulder and make everyone go tripping.
Dude, do it.
Rumboyz Gone Wild.
Let's go ahead really quick. Let's get back into things. Remember, last day that our FTN Football Almanac 2023 is available. guys, like over at FT, man, we're working with legends. You guys gotta go and check it out.
How do I order these things?
You could go to ftnfantasy.com, use FTN30 as the promo code, and yeah, and then go ahead and after you order the guide, tag FTN Network and let them know Robbie sent you. You know,
exactly. That's what I want to do.
Drop the link in the chat. Drop the link in the chat for the
link. Yep, link is in the description. ftnfantasy.com, FTN Network. Make sure you guys check it out. We're gonna get
Robbie. I'm sorry. One last thing. The stuff with the suicide awareness and all that kind of stuff. I want to do anything I can to be involved with that. So cool. I'll donate. I'll do whatever. That's a huge thing for me. So that Hunter Henry or whatever that is, please let me know what I can do to support that. And I'm 100% in.
Yeah.
Good man, Jeff. Right now, we do have Rumboyz leagues filling. We are filling our yearly charity league, men's suicide prevention and mental health awareness. So make sure you guys check that out.
Can I donate $25 to be part of the league?
Yes, donate $25. Send me screenshot of your donation, and then I send you the invite. Hell yes, yes. We're gonna get back into it. Let's have some fun really quick. I know that we've gotten, deep into like the weeds and a lot of contracts, business, just breaking down, players, and we talked about everything from fucking throwing motions, pass protection, all this shit. Let's have some fun with the NFL tonight.
Let's go, boys.
The Washington Commanders. Magic Johnson has said that there's potential the team will change its name. What are you guys
in charge of the name?
Huh?
Nothing.
What are you guys thinking that the Commanders' future name could be? Last time that we had this conversation, we didn't even think the Commanders were even going to be a fucking possibility. Yeah. It sounds like what fans had maybe originally wanted could be a possibility. Could it be Red Wolves? Could it be Armada? Could it be Generals? What are you guys thinking? Mike, start.
All right. First off, I do think they're going to change the name. I thought they shouldn't change the name until Snyder got out because I had a feeling this was – me and you both said this. I thought this could happen where they were going to get a rebrand and then another rebrand. I do think that if they change the name, I do think there's a slight chance. I don't think it's going to happen, Robbie. But I do think there's a slight chance that Robbie gets mad of his drink for no reason. But
it's tequila.
Well, that's the problem.
Tequila.
I do think there's a chance that they go back to WFT. I do think there's a slight chance.
Love it.
I do think there's a slant chance that happens.
I love it.
Don't think it will.
Mike, I love it.
I think it will be the Red Wolves. But you know what? But I'll be 100% real, and I'll just sum it up, and then I'll throw it to David. I could care less about the name of the team after seeing the pass from Sam Howell to Terry McLaurin today on social media.
Oh, that shit was sick.
Sexy. That's all I got to say. I'm done. I'm done.
Hey, what's crazy? If you notice, they're not leaking any footage of Sam Howell running.
But what irritated me about it was everyone, I know it was a good catch, but everyone's all I saw on social media was like, oh, what a catch by Terry. It was a great catch. But no one's talking about the dime.
Yep, the dime.
Is it practice?
But
are we talking about practice?
Not
the game. Not the game.
It was a nice catch.
Bro, as many times as you
about Danny Dimes to
hold on. This motherfucker literally tagged me in a Garrett Wilson catch publicly on Twitter, and then comes on this show. Like, do you realize people see the shit that you do?
Listen. I was referring to them the division. It was different.
You literally tagged me in a training camp catch.
Robbie, isn't this the same guy that sent us video?
It was different.
No, Robbie, isn't this the same guy that
Tuck is a glutton
year
for punishment,
sent
damn it.
me and you practice video or tagged us in a video of Pickett to prove that Pickett was him with Pickens?
Yeah, no, it was because He didn't even know that Pickett and Pickens were different people. One's white, one's black.
It was a slight dyslexic moment on my part. I misread. I was going too fast. Listen, that's not what we're here for.
Okay, David, your turn.
Anyways, David, what do you think the new name will be?
Hey, hold on, David. I'm only going to jump in because of what Mike said.
Okay.
I love the Washington football team. All right. I know you kind of glossed over it. That's the only reason I'm jumping in, is that I think that's very cool. I like the Washington football team. I like the ability to do all kinds of merchandising off of that with the generic football name. I think it's unique. We're not an animal. We're not a this. We're not a that. We're a football team.
Jeff, you know why you like it? I know why you like it.
Uh-oh.
No,
Why?
it's simple.
I want to know.
You're a soccer fan. That's what soccer
Yeah,
is.
that is a very.
It's a total soccer thing. I have no problem with it, but that's just what I think.
As a soccer referee, and
I was about to say it
fact,
had to be a
I don't
soccer
disagree,
reference.
but I'm agreeing with you, and now we'll go to David. Go, David.
Yeah, I think we should rename them the Washington Task Force and then just have Chris Hampton as their mascot in honor of that racist piece of shit, sexist piece of shit too, Daniel Snyder. You know, I think that's what we should do. Honestly.
There's no honor in Daniel Snyder. There is no honor and Daniel Snyder don't go in the same fucking sentence.
There's no fucking doubt I said that facetiously. Fuck that guy. That guy's a fucking loser. That guy can go to hell and move off to his, whatever fucking private island he wants to, and that'll be it. I don't give a shit about that guy. I would like them to go the polar opposite route. I mean, you go from what was, you did the Commanders, the Washington football team. I think but with all the respect to the football team, I think it's a little boring for my liking.
It's boring, yeah.
I just think it's like, I want something original. I don't want something that's recycled. It's no tigers, no dragons, like, the Sea Dragons in Seattle, where, for when we're talking about XFL teams. I would dig, instead of going the racist route, you go to honoring communities and you name them the Red Tails in honor of the African American Air Force.
Tuskegee Airmen, yeah.
Exactly.
They can't do that. Somebody trademarked it already. He trademarked 25 names.
That would have been so dope. Yeah. Damn, I didn't realize that.
They had bought all of those back. That dude did it to be a troll. He was some fucking famous lawyer who lives in Arlington. All the names will be available. But I do like that one. That was one that I was kind of a fan of. The problem with that is that I do have with that is you're not going to get everyone to buy into that because of the politicalization of it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, that shit doesn't bother me if it's honoring a good cause and not doing something fucked up like they previously did.
Look. You and I have no problems with it, but I ain't gonna say who. But there's a certain demographic out there that you'd be like, they're honoring fucking black people on the NFL again now.
Goddamn right. And this, there's a certain clan, if you will.
The other problem with that, it doesn't even have. I understand what you're saying, Robin, but it doesn't even have to go that deep. When you have that kind of a name or that kind of whatever representation, and you're literally in the nation's capital, it's going to run different than if you did that, say somewhere else too. If that was exactly somewhere else, it would be different. But because I understand what you're saying, but also because it's.
But it also has nothing to do with DC. Like Tuskegee, you're down in Alabama.
Yeah, true.
No, that's true. But it represents the country, though. Like the country's military. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's a great story, and it's it
is the nation. That's where the two go hand in hand. No, I do agree.
I would say the Red Wolves, possibly. I think the Hogs. The Hogs would be pretty good.
The Hogs, because we've always been known as that. That's always been our nickname.
Red Wolves #1 though. I dig the Red Wolves the most. That's fucking dope in my eyes. Yeah.
I want to put. I could like RIP TZ. I would love to freaking just see nothing but a sea of burgundy and gold, and just to hear at the beginning of the game, oh, and have the horn yelling Terry McLaurin coming out fucking. Fire shoot up out of the ground as he's running out the tunnel with Jahan Dotson right behind him. Yeah, fuck yeah.
That'd be dope, dude. That'd be fucking dope.
Yeah, awesome. Red Wolves. Jeff, what do you think?
So to me, yes, they need to change the name. I think they need to wipe Snyder off the board completely. Completely wipe them off the board. But to me, I think they need to pay homage to their own fans. Something like the War Hogs or the Wart Hogs, something like that. Like the Hogs are a Washington thing. That is a thing. And I think if you're going to change the name, I think you need to change the name on something that honors the fans who have been fans through this team's up and downs. I liked the Hogs idea when they first came up with it because that's their thing. That is their thing. You know?
We have the Hog. We have the Hogettes, but we don't have them anymore. We did when the name changed. They stopped coming to the games, but now everyone's coming back to the game. So
and you guys have a great
fan. Do they'll squeal in the stand?
And I don't like the Generals because the Generals, to me, first of all, it's been done before. You know, we've seen it in different sports before.
It's like, what is this? The fucking replacements? You know?
Yeah,
like,
you're in DC. Like to me, like. And also, like, from just a merchandising standpoint, the Generals, what are you doing with that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, it's just, there's nothing special you're going to do with it. But I think if you change it to something like the War Hogs or something like that, you give it a different name, you honor the fan base, you keep the colors, you do what you're supposed to. I think that's the right move. And, you know, we know Magic Johnson, like, first of all, as a basketball player, but also as owner from the Dodgers, he's about tradition. This man is about tradition, keeping tradition alive. He's also about winning. He's going to do what's best for the team because, first of all, he likes to make a lot of money, and he does it very, very well.
He does it very well. There's not very many businessmen that are that good.
So he knows he will do exactly what is right for this team. I don't like the Washington football team idea. To me, that was a huge cop-out. I think it was just a placeholder for whatever they came up with. The Commanders, sure, cool. It was a cool idea, but especially coming from, I don't know, I think I'm the only veteran here. But coming
No, you're not. Stop it. You know damn well you're not.
Well, I didn't know who else was a veteran. So, like, you know.
Robbie is too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. But it just
you crashed on my couch, damn it.
Like I forgot about that, dog. My bad. It was a long night, my dude. We drank a lot, homie. Like we drank a lot. Dog. Like so, I didn't like the whole Commanders aspect. I didn't think there was a whole lot they were gonna do with it. But I think my issue with the Commanders too was you changed your name to the Commanders, but you didn't do anything else. Like the colors were the same, the jerseys were a little bit different.
I just hate the name. I hate the name. I don't like the Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders sounds like very racist, like super oppressive. Like it sounds super oppressive. It's like I'm gonna command you to do this. Like, listen here, motherfucker. It's 2023. Command me to do some shit. Watch.
You know, I initially liked the nickname, and then someone put that idea in my head, and I could never fucking shake it, and so I hated it as a result. After
that happened on air. I remember that.
Snyder. It's such a Daniel Snyder thing to say.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
I was surprised you didn't name like the liberal snowflakes or something to piss people off, you know? Like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to tell the story, and I'm going to get it wrong, but and you probably heard it, there's a guy whose son went to prom with Snyder's daughters, you know what I mean, type thing. Mm-hmm. When the parents met, Snyder said, "Call me Mr. Snyder." Like prom at a high school prom. At a high school prom.
So the parents
don't call me Dan. Call me Mr. Snyder.
Exactly. They met for pictures, and he's like, "My name is Mr. Snyder." It's like, come on,
what a fucking
stop taking yourself so fucking serious, bro.
Get out.
What a fucking
get out,
dude.
Taco, what do you think the new name will be?
The Beltway Babbling Baboons.
Wow. Wow.
How about the Washington Wobble Walkers?
Wobble? What the fuck is a wobble?
What the fuck is a wobble walk? What the fuck?
A fucking nigga that comes. A person that walks out of the bar.
Did he just say what I thought he just said?
No.
He's gotten drunk. He's drunk.
Roll the tape. Roll the tape. Roll the tape.
Yep. So for real, what do you think the name? What do you think the name will be? What do you think that it'll be? Like for real.
I mean, for real. Like, listen, that's such a that's such a marketing play. It really would come down to what the owners want to do with it. What's their vision of it? Like, what do they want to see when they're coming into their offices every day? It really comes down to what the owners' tastes are, because while, yes, this is for the fans and you want to do it for the fans, the owners literally own this property. This is what they're going to see in their jets and in their things. So I don't think you're buying a property to get some sort of name you don't like. So I honestly don't know. But with Magic Johnson behind it, I expect it to have some sort of flair and some sort of jazz. And
some
gonna be
type
Red
of
Wolves.
historical reference. Magic's not going to let it go without some type of historical reference. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be Red Wolves.
I can't shake the fact that
yeah, I'm with you, Rob. He's gonna make sure that there's a historical heartbeat to this.
I can't shake the fact that Taco just
go there. I think you might have gonna fall. You probably want to go something like catchy or fun or something that you know that you can like kind of just let it fire. I kind of like what Jeff was saying about going back to like the warthogs or something like that. I know it's a little cultural, but it's also fun. Like you could have a lot of fun with that kind of a thing.
We have like we have like the Hogs Club and like we have like Hog Haven, which is like a huge like blog. So like it makes sense. I wouldn't mind it at all. If you have ever seen a wild warthog like up close, like they're fucking fast. They are vicious. They have horns. Yeah, like
fuck you up, dude. They will
gore your ass. Exactly. So like I like that. There's ways that you can make that logo, you know, kind of like vicious, kind of like how when I think like warthogs, like I think like logos, how Arkansas with the Razorbacks they did. You know, I think that you can find ways to make that aggressive. But I'm all in on the Red Wolves train. I think that's what fans are clinging to the most. That's what I'm seeing a lot of the, you know, in the blogs and stuff like that. So I see it being Red Wolves, and yes, I'll never mind. I'm not going to be out there in a freaking wolf costume because last person that wore a wolf costume ended up robbing banks and is spending time in federal prison.
Speaking of that, man, he is actually in the quarterback. He's in the quarterback thing on Netflix, not like interviewed, but he's in the back when they're playing at Denver. When they're playing at Denver, he's in the background waving the Chiefs flag.
Bro, wild.
That'd be so fucked up if Robbie just wears a wolf costume out there and then all of a sudden someone's like, he's on the run, and they just tackle him and they're like, yo, bro, the guy's white. I'm
wrong person.
You know?
All right.
Oh god.
Here's one that I want to get into, and I wrote on the show sheet. Give me a fantasy player that like you're not seeing many people talk about. Like I feel like that there's just certain players that everyone oohs and ahs for. Like everyone's talking about Garrett Wilson right now. Like you know, everyone's like, what's a name that you feel like is being overlooked, but you're going to be targeting for your fantasy football drafts and your teams. I am going to go first so that no one takes mine, and I'm going to say Brandon Ayuk. I feel like nobody. I have not seen a Brandon Ayuk tweet in at least like 3 fucking weeks.
Yeah,
like,
he's under the radar right now. He's under the radar. Great call.
Let's go, Taco. Who do you got?
I guess right now, especially because I guess this is when best ball season is really going to ramp up before we get into like our main home drafts. I think this next month is going to be a big thing. But Paris Campbell is slowly looking at and possibly being a number 2 option on this offense, maybe eclipsing Hodgins, maybe really taking over for Hyatt. And there's a hodgepodge of guys that are down there. But
there's
Paris
like 10
Campbell
guys.
I know, right?
There's like 10 guys now after getting Beasley.
So like it's hard to figure out who to get, but the tea leaves seem to be trending more towards Campbell right now. And when you're talking about 17th round, 16th round, 18th round, that's kind of the value that you want. A guy that possibly could be a number 1 on a team, might end up with 1,000 yards, have some touchdowns, have a couple big weeks for you where you're actually like, oh, wow, this guy ended up being a flex or number 3.
That's deep.
So a lot of pub out of New England this week, Ty Harrington.
Oh,
man, I'm sorry. Ty Montgomery.
Montgomery.
He's been playing not only the running back spot, but the slot receiver spot. So he's been getting a lot of attention here. So I think he's a good spot, and I'm always a big fan of the cheapest running back in the New England backfield. Always.
Jeff the Scout.
I've got a couple, and some of them you guys have heard me talk about for weeks. One is Derek Carr. Two is Meyer at tight end in Las Vegas. Like I mean, I feel like this kid got overshadowed by Kincaid the last couple months before the draft. But let's not forget what he did down at Notre Dame. 3 is one that's going to kind of not really come out of the woodworks, but Claypool to me in Chicago, second year, is a great value, and I think he's a solid option. And then the other one is Pierce, running back down there in Houston. They ain't got shit else. I mean, CJ's a rookie quarterback. They ain't got a lot of wide receivers out there. You could go Nico Collins too. I'm cool with that one. But I think I think Pierce has got some severe talent down there, and Texans have a history of, one or two seasons, pretty solid running backs. And I can tell you right now, ain't nobody drafting him pretty high.
Yeah, we ended up with Pierce on a roster, and we have him on a couple of rosters out there. So I like that. I like that call. David.
I'm gonna go with Brian Robinson Jr. I'm gonna keep it within the Commanders franchise, man. I think he is a complete back. He's on the cusp of becoming a complete back. I know the numbers don't necessarily reflect that, but I think it's more so because of the system he was in as opposed to what he individually did. I think this could be a special season for Brian Robinson Jr. if Eric Bieniemy gets a hold of this offense and molds it the way he wants to, molds it into, I don't want to say a spitting image of Kansas City, because that's, that's fucking lofty expectations there. No one. But like gets you some semblance of what it was like in Kansas City, where you have a legitimate foundation in place to galvanize guys and get them in a position to potentially not just win the division, but make some noise in the playoffs. And I think the Commanders really could. I'm actually very high on the Commanders this upcoming season. And I think Brian Robinson Jr., furthermore, because of what he can do as a rusher, as a receiver, and as a blocker too, he will be such a, even though the last part's kind of irrelevant for fantasy, I think he can honestly make a significant impact to be maybe even furthermore the focal point of this offense, more so than even Sam Howell and the passing game.
Well,
in the
Dave,
receiving game, excuse me.
I got a question for you, Dave. Do you think because of Sam Howell and his abilities, this is going to turn into a read option offense with the ability that both of those players have?
I can see that.
That's a good question. I think there's a strong possibility of that. I think you'll see an uptick in that potentially because, Sam Howell is I think he's a more efficient runner than Patrick Mahomes was, and I think the enemy will be willing to employ stuff like that more so with Sam Howell, considering what he did at North Carolina. And I think it really benefits Sam Howell that he has Eric Bieniemy being the one, who's in charge of the reins of this offense and gets him into gets him to evolve into the player that I think he has the potential of being. And that player that he could potentially evolve into being is someone I could see him being like with his natural skill set. I could see him being a top 10 quarterback in this league. I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately this year, but I love the situation that Sam Howell has surrounded himself with, the weapons he has and the offensive coordinator he has.
Facts.
Mike, Sam Howell's better than Daniel Jones?
No, it's yet to be proven because he's not played it down yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if he plays better.
Yeah, we only have one NFL game on Howell. So Howell's in the very same. It's almost a spitting image of what Mahomes kind of had to go through. Where it's like we saw one game of Mahomes and it was like, holy fuck, like this kid just tore it up. Like like the one game that we saw of Howell, it was like, holy fuck, like this dude was amazing. And now he has Eric Bieniemy, and we'll see what happens. You can't look at one game and be like, yeah, he's better than Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has fucking 4 or 5 years of games.
We are pontificators here. This is what we do. We pontificate.
No, that's what you do.
You just want to make sure no one shat on your boy just now. That's why.
Okay. Mike.
All right, so I have to pivot because one of mine was taken. But I am going to
Who
quote
was taken?
Yeah.
Nico Collins.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm just going to leave it there. To quote a great rapper, give me some more, give me some more, give me some more. Mr. Elijah Moore, that is. I think that Elijah Moore is being slept on. I think he could end up being a low-end receiver 2, mid-3. I think if everything works out for the Browns, give me some Elijah Moore, and I'm about to draft him as soon as we're done with this show.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
By the way, where's that
Hell
quote
yeah.
from? More. Give me some more. Give me some more. Give me some more. Where's that from?
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I think you just made that up just now.
Nah.
Give me some more. Give me some more.
Busta, what it is right now.
I'll have to check it out.
Getting into the final topic of tonight. Kind of funny that I kind of shouted out Ayuk there because we're heading over to the Bay. Yep. We're heading over to the Bay. Big ups to San Francisco. News out of San Francisco camp today. Trey Lance is not looking too hot.
No, not at all.
Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy are taking pretty much predominantly all of the reps.
Are you sure you want to send this over to me, Robbie?
It's gonna be your turn. We already know how
Mike.
we already know how I feel about Brock Purdy. I've gone on numerous times about my thoughts about Trey Lance. I've always said that Trey Lance wasn't going to be the fit for this team. I always said that they've made a fucking mistake reaching up for him. What are y'all's thoughts? Is it time for the 49ers and the 49er faithful to go ahead and just say, bang, bang, Niner gang, we got this one wrong, and admit that they fucked up?
Okay, so they're not going to admit they're wrong. Like I've told you, they will not admit they're wrong because they spent way too much capital to get him to say they're wrong yet. Hold on.
Bam.
With Purdy, I do think Purdy is the future for 2023 and 2023 only because I don't know what they're going to do after that. I know you don't. Hold your horse.
Go ahead.
I know you got your nickname for him and all that, and you think he's going to be the blah, blah, blah. You think da-da-da. But I do not think he is going to be ready week 1. So the question is, I know, put that shit down for a second.
He had that ready to go. Look, he had that
because
ready
in
to
the because in the back of the head, his head, he knows where I'm going. I did not think what I'm about to say a week ago. I did not. But with the new news and everything that's going on, even though I don't think they're going to completely give up on Lance, the Niners cannot afford to go down in the hole in the NFC and with the Seattle Seahawks in that division. So the starter for week 1 will be Sam fucking Darnold.
No, it's not right. Okay. So they're saying that Purdy could be ready to go for week 1. They are saying that Purdy will. He's cleared. Yeah.
If he's not, 14 will start.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll give you that. I
thought you were saying over Purdy.
Fuck shovel face.
I'm saying
I hate Sam Darnold.
I'm saying Purdy won't be ready by week 1.
Yeah.
That's what he calls him. Okay. I'm saying
I've never heard that before. Damn.
Before I throw it to David, all I'm saying is I personally don't believe that Purdy will be ready week 1 and 14 will start. Shovel face, mono boy, whatever you want to call it. But Sam Darnold will start, and Robbie, I will dance around the goddamn table on Friday night the week after if he does. Okay? So
we'll be on air. So I guess you'll be dancing on air.
No, I'm doing it I'll wait till Friday night to dance around the table.
By the way, really quick, make sure that you guys turn on that notification bell. I'll be getting all the show dates and show times for the NFL season to Mike, and we will release the graphic for you guys probably like Monday, Tuesday. We'll get the full schedule out for everyone, what shows will be what time, so on and so forth, so that way you guys can lock it in your calendar. David, your thoughts on this Trey Lance fuckery?
I just want to say
Okay.
the nickname Shovel Face sounds like the nickname for the ugliest motherfucker imaginable. That is just ruthless,
Bro,
man.
look at it.
Jesus
Look at
Christ.
his face. He looks like he got hit in the face by a shovel, like the shovel like shaped his face.
I'm just gonna say your words, not mine. Okay? Just to be nice, okay? No, but talking about Trey Lance, though, I think we honestly need to pump the brakes a little bit about labeling him a bust or anything of that nature. This is a guy who, how many games has he played? He's played 4 fucking games. 4 games we're judging this guy off of.
True.
That's way too premature. And and furthermore, too, even if it was, like he's on top of that too. He's not even played 3 years in the league yet. He's not even entered his 3rd year. I think the 3rd year's the charm in terms of where we really get an identity on a quarterback.
Because he's so the times that we have seen Trey Lance,
Mhm.
like whether it's been in training camp or preseason, he fucking sucks at the NFL level.
He's not been great, but I just think it's so early on. I mean, are we? But like, okay, Justin Fields played more than 4 games his rookie year. He started more than 4 games his rookie year. Jared Goff did. Are we going to write these guys off because they played within their first 4 games like shit in their rookie year?
They actually, even
Goff
in
sucked
even
with the
even
Rams
in their
at the
even in their woes, they at least showed some type of competence. Holy fuck!
Is there an earthquake going on over there, Jeff? Jeez.
They showed that even in their woes, they showed competency. Every time I have seen Trey Lance on an NFL field, it is like, holy shit, I'm in the NFL. Oh my god, I'm in the NFL, and he looks completely lost. Like
he's struggled, but I don't know if I would say he's played worse than those guys than like Jared Goff, for instance. But either way.
Taco, what the fuck is that sound?
It's not me this time. It's not me.
Yeah, where's that feed? Where's that noise from? Someone's got something back.
I don't know. I muted him. But continue.
Yeah. Poor Taco. The thing is with Trey Lance, though, I think we need to just exercise a little bit of patience. No, but 4 games, it's just too early, man. It's too early. Now, I don't think he's better than Purdy. Purdy's the real guy. He's the starter, no doubt about it.
When's the last time? Hold on.
You go with the hot hand.
David, you and I have worked in this industry together for many years. You've been one of my really, really, really good friends. I love you and all the homies.
You, man. Yeah.
When's the last time, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Doing this job that you have seen a positive report come out about Lance from behind the scenes?
Never.
I know. But again, it's just 4 games and not even in his 3rd year yet. Like, let's make this fair. If he comes out, let's just say hypothetically he starts a game this year, or he starts a package again, because Purdy's got injury proneness. Sam Darnold, I mean, he could play like shit again and be like the deer in fucking headlights he was in New York. I'm just saying. It's very possible that Trey Lance could come in. If he plays for a package games like shit, then I will cave in and I will admit that he's a wash, he's a bust. Or at least he was a disappointment in San Francisco. He needs to go try somewhere else, for another team. Okay. But I just think 4 games is a little premature. With that being said, though, Brock Purdy's definitively the guy. It's not Darnold's team. It's not Trey Lance's team. You ride with the hot hand. And especially furthermore, it's not even just because Purdy was winning games. It's because of Purdy's growth. And it's because of Purdy's growth in the latter part of the season, where he was starting to take a lot more chances downfield, connecting with guys like Brandon Ayuk downfield. I loved the growth of Brock Purdy towards the latter part of the season last year. And if he's cleared, and I know it's a little dicey with that UCL injury because that's all basically like Tommy John, for baseball. Mm-hmm. But I still would go with I would trust him. I think that guy just works his ass off, man. We got to give him credit.
And just the story, story alone. Yeah. You know what? Netflix. I know that Sam Howell, Justin Fields, and a couple and Tua all turned down being on the season 2 of quarterback. You want to know who you can put on season 2? Brock Purdy.
Yeah. They fucking probably wear that shit like a badge of honor. He'd flex on some motherfuckers on camera.
Yep. Jeff.
Well, if you know me from back in my scouting days, I was the biggest Trey Lance hater. He played 19 games from high school to college before he got drafted.
Yeah.
He's been in the NFL. He's hardly played. I think Trey Lance throws rainbows. Trey Lance can't throw on a straight line. Trey Lance gets antsy in the pocket. I am an anti-Trey Lance person. This is, a situation that's very awkward because they did give up a bunch to go out and get him. But
They did, yeah.
as you know, on this show, I've told you that I think Kyle Shanahan is the best offensive mind in football. I think if it can't work out with Trey Lance in San Francisco, his career is over.
Yes.
Because I think the rest of the NFL knows it. I think the rest of the NFL knows that if Kyle Shanahan can't make Trey Lance work, there's nobody else that can make Trey Lance work. I am not a fan of Trey Lance. I don't like the way he plays. I don't think he's and I mean this in the nicest way possible. I don't think he's smart enough for the NFL game. I don't think he had enough time in college. He played in D2. He played at North Dakota, where it's a totally different mindset, and he didn't play enough games. That I think the NFL game is way too fast and way too far beyond what he is mentally ready and physically prepared for. I mean, did I hate on Brock Purdy? Yeah, but Brock Purdy played a shit ton of games in college.
He had a lot of football in his belt.
Yeah.
Trey Lance did not. So you're telling me you're going to go from North Dakota State, where you barely played. I mean, you had 1.5 seasons in 3 years at North Dakota State outside of high school, all the way to the NFL, and you're going to start at the NFL level. I'm sorry, I've scouted for a long time. That's almost a physically impossible task.
And just to the NDSU standpoint, we see what happens when these NDSU quarterbacks make it to the league. Carson Wentz had an okay career, but that shit came and went like that.
Well, he had the back injury. That's not really fair.
Yeah,
he had the injury and such, but it was still in the blink of an eye. That is a common theme that I am noticing with NDSU quarterbacks, and Wentz was the only outlier.
I have one question for Jeff, though.
There's only been 2 NDSU quarterbacks.
There's been 3.
Who? Eastern Stick?
Yep.
Oh, come on.
He still counts. What's your question?
I'm saying, but he's not. All I'm saying, he wasn't like a first-round pick like Robbie Zach like the other guys.
No, but he was a cool dude, man. Easton's a cool dude.
So the love of someone's arm strength is subjective. I personally love Trey Lance's arm. I think he's got a cannon. I see that. You may see it differently, and that's fine. I get that. But, I mean, he was nonetheless marketed as, when he was coming into the draft, as potentially like Colin Kaepernick 2.0. From a cannon of an arm, they were marketing him as that, nonetheless. With a cannon of an arm and incredible mobility. Do you think that now mental, like ignoring the mental aspect of the game, let's just say that is a wash in his game potentially, where he can't mentally check into, to making the right decision making, to making the right decisions, and to functioning within a system, okay, from a mental standpoint. But do you think that with the athleticism alone, with that marketability of a cannon of an arm and that mobility, that could segue into another opportunity with a new team? That alone could do so, if it doesn't work out in San Francisco?
I don't think so, and I don't think so for a couple reasons. So one is I don't think he can read the field correctly, and he does have a cannon of an arm, but there's a difference between having a cannon of an arm and being, you know what, I'm going to do it either. Jamarcus Russell threw 80 yards from his knees, and he sucked ass in the NFL.
He did.
So just because you have a cannon of an arm and you're mobile doesn't mean you're accurate. And when you rainbow throw in the NFL, you're going to get kicked off.
You're going to get picked.
If you rainbow throw near Derwin James, I guarantee you that ball is going the other way.
Yeah, Derwin's winning that 9 times out of 10.
You're not wrong about that. And he's not played well since he's been in the league. There's no denying that.
SC and then Taco.
I'm not saying he doesn't have talent. I'm just saying that he doesn't have.
I mean, obviously he has talent. He's an NFL player. Yeah.
I just don't think that if Kyle Shanahan can't get you mentally ready for the game and can't get you mentally ready up for speed, even if you have the talent, it's not happening. We've seen what Kyle Shanahan can do.
All right, fair enough.
SC.
I'm not sure how I would go either way with this, to be honest with you. I feel like I'm a little out of this. I'm gonna pass the Taco.
Taco.
Well, I mean, I don't think at this point you really have a need to give up on Lance. You can keep him in house. You can kind of hope for the best. You can hope that him being around your culture another year after his injury and
what does he do for the fucking culture? What has he done for this team?
Not that he's done for the culture, but being around the culture, being in the practice squads, being around the team. After, like, that's all you can hope for at this point. You don't really have much to go on. You got to hope that through the team, you got to hope that this guy's deep down. This is about him wanting it at this point. Now, if he's this bad,
right.
you know, so this is not anything anyone could do, and there's no reason just to cut him or get nothing at this point. Yeah, they fucked up, but what do? You fuck up, let someone else get in, and then let him become something else, or you say you fucked up. I found something in Brock Purdy for now. But you know what, dude? Let's see what we can do. Can we really do something? I'll ride this out as long as I can. When it comes to maybe getting that fifth-year option, that shit will definitely get declined. How far do you go? That all depends on how much you can show. But you know what? There's no reason to jettison him at this point. It's right. Just keep him in house. Keep building him. Keep working him. Look, you fucking got Sam Darnold, who's been passed around like a fucking, town bike, as we all know the reference. And now look at him. He's about to be starting for the 49ers. We need to get Trey Lance a shot. Give him a couple years. He came in as a project. He came in raw. Maybe he could do it, maybe he can't. But you know what? That's on the coach now at this point.
First it was Shovel Face, and then it was the Village Bicycle. He was called. The disrespect for Darnold has just gone to unbelievable heights on this show, man.
Well, Mike's the only Sam Darnold fan that I know, so I mean, fucking lone wolf.
I still love you, Darnold. I loved you for your USC
What's
days.
sad
Man.
what's funny is when he came into the league, I couldn't stand him. The reason I gave him a better chance, I like him, is because I thought Adam Gase is a goddamn idiot. We all know that. And I thought that he got the raw end of the deal in New York, and I thought he was going to get a second chance in Carolina. And yes, Robbie, for 3 weeks, I circled the tables. Yes, I will admit that. So, yes.
We were on air and fucking like Sam Darnold's fucking starting. Mike.
And
I'm sitting here. I'm like, man, fuck. I was like, we're doing Rum Zone today. I gotta fucking sit on air with this motherfucker for 7 hours.
Mike will get the most random of takes right, and he will throw a goddamn parade if he has to.
I know. Well, all right, but see, here's the thing. We've worked in this industry for so long.
That was you, buddy.
That was
fucking
industry
you,
for
dude.
so long. Like when you've been at it, like when you're a fucking dinosaur at this point. Like the analyst, big shouts out, by the way, really quick. Let's give some flowers. Big shouts to all the analysts on the come up, all the up and comers, all the newbies. I see you guys. I'm liking your streams. I'm watching your shows. I'm showing you guys some love. But when you have like the new content creators referring to like guys like Mike and I as like fucking dinosaurs now at this point, like you're because here's the thing, like your career, like around about like year 3 in like the sports media industry is where like you really have like your feet underneath you really got things going, you have some motion, you built the name, you built the brand, and like kind of around that point is when you kind of start getting called a fantasy football dinosaur. You kind of start because like this content creation shit, like for a lot of us, like it comes and it goes. Like not everyone lasts. It's like forever.
Yeah, but that's a little mean. I mean, you're not, to be call an analyst a dinosaur. I mean, I get Skip Bayless's ass, but not you guys,
Hey,
but he was also born a dinosaur, so there's that.
Bro, when I
yourself.
was sitting down with Pat Fitzmaurice, and he was like, and like me and we were talking. I was talking about my journey, like him and I we were talking. He was like, yeah. He was like, at this point, you're a fantasy football dinosaur, and I was like, fuck. So like it kind of hits. Speaking of fantasy football dinosaurs, FTNFantasy.com, go get our draft guide. Big shout to the homie Jeff Radcliffe. Like worked so hard on it, and all the other authors that are in that draft guide that help put that draft guide together. Remember promo code FTN30. Be sure to utilize promo code FTN30 and go get our sports almanac as well. Go get the FTN Sports Almanac, the football almanac. Aaron Schatz did a great job on that. So for real, make sure you check out that product. $29.99. It's on sale right now. FTNFantasy.com. Anybody have anything that they want to shout out? Any leagues that they're doing? Anything? No. Good. No.
All
good.
Say,
Yeah.
All I will say real quick, because I just got an email saying so. If you do want to join Polly's playoff, you only have a week left.
Wait, let me mute Taco because he has some weird. What did you say?
If you want to join Polly's playoff with Shane Barrett for
Yes.
Alzheimer's, you only have a week left.
Yes. Alzheimer awareness, Polly's playoff. I am in it. Take an opportunity to be able to compete against me. Rumboyz suicide prevention and mental health awareness pod.
That's where I want to go. The suicide prevention. Let's go. Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
We should. Yeah, I'm all over that. Whatever we need to do to get the suicide prevention publicity. Let's go, Robbie. Let's get this stuff going. That's big for my heart. Let's go.
Same. So we're filling that league. We're looking
Whatever
for.
you need to do for that, Robbie. Reach out to me. Let me know what you want me to do for that. Whatever
I got
can do,
you.
let me know.
I got you. We're looking for 8 more competitors in that league. $25 buy-in, proof of donation, get you into the league. I'll send you a link. Other than that, cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do. Dilly, we love and appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.
Love you, boys. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Love you, bro.